So Joe Biden, again, is neck and neck with Donald Trump. Everything looks like he will win because no one in America will pressure Joe Biden to actually represent anyone or do anything for anyone. All he has to do is say he's not Trump. And that's it, apparently. Joe Biden can be racist. He could be a puppet of Wall Street. He could kick people out of their houses. He can foreclose on them. He could bomb brown people until they run out of bombs. He could take fracking money. He could open the Arctic to drilling. He could put immigrants in cages, all these things Joe Biden has done. He could make it harder for bankrupted people to get rid of their medical debt. He's done that. So that's where we're at. And guess what? So Joe Biden has just made a promise to his Wall Street donors after being lauded for his task force policies. Now, I don't know if you remember when Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders started these task forces to work on these problems. I immediately said this was bullshit that Bernie was doing this. How dare he? Shame on you for bullshitting us like this. Why are you pretending like we don't know what the problems are in this country? And why are you pretending like we don't already know what the solutions are? And why are you pretending like we have to get people together in a room to figure out the problems and the solutions to our problems? We all know what the problems and solutions are. And the only reason yet you're doing this, Bernie, is this is window dressing to fool people into thinking Joe Biden gives a shit about them. And Bernie's willingly going along with that. Bernie is willingly gaslighting his own followers, you and anybody else who will listen to him. Bernie is willing to lie to them that Joe Biden is somehow FDR. He said this. This is lies. Those task forces were lies. I said they were lies. When they were announced, they were lies. Bernie Sanders and everybody who participated in them are liars, and they are participating in fucking lying to you. After being lauded for his task force policies, the Democratic nominee promised wealthy contributors that changing corporate behavior is not going to require legislation. I'm not proposing any. So he was lying about his task force recommendations. Just like the Sunrise Movement, they gave their imprimatur to Joe Biden's campaign. They were completely used. I said they were being used. They were used. They willingly were used because people want to be part of the club. The woman who runs Sunshine Foundation completely sold out to Joe Biden. Sunshine Foundation completely sold out to the Democratic Party and corporate America and the gas lobby and the fracking lobby. They completely sold out to them. That's what those task forces were. And now we know for sure that now the evidence is here again. Jimmy, why are you being so negative? What was Bernie supposed to do? Could you be fucking stummer on purpose? What was he supposed to do? Could you get out of commenting on politics if that's what you're saying? The Biden campaign said the economic recommendations produced jointly by supporters of Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders were never intended as official policy. So this is Joe Biden pissing right directly in Bernie Sanders' face and yours. And what does Bernie Sanders say? Thank you, sir. Piss on me again. And it's not just pissing on his face. It's let's fuck over people hard. Yes, sir. I'm going to help Joe Biden fuck people over. The economic recommendations included ideas that worried some powerful bankers. In a private call with Wall Street leaders, the Biden campaign made it clear those proposals would not be central to Biden's agenda. How do you feel now? I'm still voting for Joe Biden, and I'm going to proclaim it 2 months ahead of time. And you're a bad person if you won't. What kind of a child are you? Sounds like you're the child. Sounds like you're the child. And you cling to your authoritarian childhood. You want a daddy to tell you what to do, how to vote, how to be a good boy. You're so afraid of not being a good boy. Listen, this is just an exercise to keep the Warren people happy. And don't read too much into it, referring to supporters of Senator Elizabeth Warren. This is just an exercise. All that shit Elizabeth Warren did for them. And that's them. They have contempt for her. After all the shit she did to help screw over Bernie Sanders for Joe Biden, they still have, of course, when you bend to them, they never respect you. They only have contempt for you. They only look down their nose at you and piss right in your face. This is Joe Biden pissing right in Elizabeth Warren's face. I don't mean to denigrate people who are into golden showers. Everybody has their own sexual proclivities.
Thank you.
And everyone knows urine is sterile. But that's... The investment banker said the message was conveyed on multiple calls. And spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe the private talks. So it sounds like Joe Biden, just like Hillary Clinton. Remember, Hillary Clinton says she has both a public and a private position on Wall Street. And how do we know that? Julian Assange let us know that Hillary Clinton had a public and private position. Now it's the Washington Post doing that. Are they going to prosecute the Washington Post? No, it's okay when they do it. She also admitted, do you see this? She also admitted she was kind of far removed from the middle class. You think? A couple of 100 millionaires? I like what Andrew Perez said about this story being revealed in the Washington Post. God, this is such a giant fuck you to voters. Democrats really need. And to everyone who has been completely pummeled by corporate America. That's how that's supposed to read. This is a giant fuck you to voters the Democrats really need, and to anyone. Getting ready to kick 27 million frickin' families out of their homes. Wall Street, as they get $1 trillion at the drop of a hat anytime they need it from the government. Socialism for Wall Street, rugged individualism for everyone else. Also, Bernie got rolled and should get the fuck off TV talking up Biden. Andrew Perez is correct. Bernie did not get rolled, by the way. He did not get blindsided by the machine. Bernie Sanders called the machine up, invited it over, and jumped underneath it. He did not get rolled. Bernie Sanders is doing this to himself, his movement, every progressive, every poor person. He's doing this to everyone. He's doing it. And why is he doing it? To save his own ass. Because Bernie Sanders isn't the guy we all hoped he was. At all. Even a little. He's the opposite. He was a guy set there to make sure we didn't have a third party over the last 5 years. That was his job. And he fucking did it perfectly. And now, who you got? You got no choice. Why make this public? I like this. Why make this public? That's the part I don't get. Why not keep it a secret conversation between him and his bankers? Why would you make this public? Why would they let this leak? Well, his campaign seems to be very intentionally rebuking the left at every opportunity. Yes. If they alienate the left wing of the base hard enough, they'll win over the 5 Republican voters they really care about. This is the same strategy they had. There's never going to be a Democratic Party whose presidential candidate cares about the people. This is 2 right-wing, conservative, oligarch, rapacious fucking parties. You have no choice. You vote for Joe Biden, he's going to punch you with his left hand. You vote for Donald Trump, he's going to punch you with his right hand. You're fucked. And all those people on Twitter and Facebook virtue signaling that they're voting Biden and that makes them a better person are fucking willing tools of a rapacious oligarchy. And they're the enemies of their own selves. And I guess they're pretty rich because they don't have a problem they need Joe Biden to solve. Because if you had a problem you wanted Joe Biden to address, you would be fucking screaming about it instead of telling everybody else to shut up. Rich white guys. And lots of them. You know, I heard, I've seen rich white comedians left and right. And my latest one was, you know that rich white comedians with diabetes? And that is Joe, who are on Medicare. Joe Biden is their favorite presidential candidate. If you're a rich white comedian on Medicare, Joe Biden is your favorite candidate. You're not going to scream at him to get you Medicare because you already got it. And then at the bottom, because in the Thunderdome, he gets points by killing off the plebes. That's why they let all this leak. Joe Biden. 87% of Democrats support Medicare for all, though Joe Biden doesn't. What? Could you be a bigger asswipe pledging your votes to this guy? The answer is no. And the fact that everybody's doing it just goes to show you that George Orwell was right.
What relationship, Jimmy, what relationship in the world would you keep going back to that somebody keeps saying, listen, baby.
That's an abusive relationship.
I'm going to do it for you. And I never will. It's abusive.
87% of Democrats support Medicare for all, though Joe Biden doesn't. And here's Biden now vows to bring back Obama's individual mandate penalty for not having So if you don't pay a private insurance company money for insurance that you're never going to be able to use because your deductible's too high, Joe Biden will fine you. He won't give you health care, but he will fine you if you don't give money to a health insurance company, whose insurance you're buying is never going to be used on you because you can't afford deductibles. Because you got a $10,000 deductible. And so that means you still don't. So do you see how Obamacare didn't help poor people? The working poor? So if you're the working poor and Obamacare comes around, you have a $10,000 deductible, you still don't go to the doctor ever. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.